Alright, g'day guys, back for another walkthrough Wednesday. Today we're going to have a look through the Daihatsu Scat, or as we call it, the donkey. It's a 1979 model Daihatsu f50, which is the factory diesel, 2.5 naturally aspirated, little Toyota built DG motor. So it's all factory mechanical wise, 4-speed manual. She's certainly no powerhouse, but she's a pretty cool little diesel. So she's had a new water pump. Brakes have been fully done up. This car basically has been in my family for about sort of 22 years or so. Dad bought it, and yeah, intentionally just being a farm car. It spent sort of the last 22 years or so on the farm, just pulling a hay trailer once or twice a year, and pulling an irrigation pump out of the river every now and then. And when we originally planned to do the Cape York trip, we decided we wanted to do it in something a little bit old school and cool. So rather than take our everyday drive four-wheel drives, we all decided to buy an old four-wheel drive. And people that have been on the Facebook page for a while there would know a few of the other cars that we had there. But yeah, basically this was up until a little bit over 18 months ago, I suppose. This hadn't been registered since 1996, so it was obviously quite a big job to completely redo everything and get it up to scratch for rego again. So mechanical wise, all the belts, a lot of the pulleys, all the hoses, all the lubes, all the fluids, the gearbox. The brakes, had to have the brakes completely redone, new booster, new lines, basically redo the whole brakes, sort out the handbrake, and other than that, sort of, yeah, mechanical wise, it's a pretty good old girl. It's yeah, never really give us any trouble, so wasn't too much we had to do mechanical wise, just do all the stuff that perishes over that sort of time being in the shed. But yeah, 1979, the old girl. So we did fully respray it. We did it in the Raptor liner, which is sort of the off-road coating, or the spray on ute liner. Anyone who's seen the Coffs Harbour video would know that this car was up against a bank and pretty much rubbed the whole side of the car up the bank and hosed it off, and it's come back like it never happened. So pretty good stuff. Interior wise, so like I said, we can fully redid the outside, painted all the bar work, fixed the bar work, cut the bottom of it off because it was, like a bulldozer blade and approach angles weren't real good. So we fixed it all up, made it a bit nicer. Had to really lift it up because it didn't have enough of a lift, so put some extended shackles in there. They're actually Land Cruiser 70 series shackles. So we modified them, had to get them turned down with the pins to make them all fit. It's running LN106 Hilux shocks, which gives a little bit better flex. You can't just go and buy a standard suspension kit off the shelf for this. So anyway, painted all the wheels, put some 31s on it. So factory they come out with 28s, so quite a big jump. Obviously had to cut quite a bit of the guard, so that's where the big jungle flare sort of come into it to cover the tyre still and give it a bit of look. Inside, kept the AstroTurf, give it a bit of character. That's always been on the car since Dad bought it all those years ago. Redid the hood liner, tidied up a bit, took the sunroof out because it was leaking, so just sheeted it up. One little thing we added, because of this lip here, added some plugs in on either side, just so when you do go through a water crossing and fill it up with water, you can actually pop the plug out and let the water out. But new volt gauges, added some luxuries like your cup holders, GPS in there. This is an old freezer tray which works as my centre console, waste not, want not. It's obviously got the factory aircon, UHF CD player with the speakers, obviously 4-speed auto, VL Commodore seats, just on the long trips gives it a lot more comfort. Got the roof rack up there, high lift jack, shovel, rod holder, just the Adventure Kings awning off the side there, jerry can holder on the back, little adventure gear bag. On the back here we found that when we were flexing it up, it was actually flexing the doors that much, they were popping open. So we sort of sorted that out. Inside, we actually cleaned that out with Milton and using it as a water tank. So we've got 50 litres of water there. I've got has a dual battery isolator, but I just put my arc pack in there when we do go away. Made up this little false floor for it, so you can slide a fair bit of gear underneath it and still have a bit more room. And that's about it. So that's the donkey. Stay tuned and we'll do another walkthrough of another vehicle next week. Cheers guys.